This is why I said most enterprises don't have a plan. Because if you wanted to build on top of a language model, if you want to figure out how to take advantage of this, on the left, if you're a big company, you can go work with the people building the foundation models. Inflection has $1.3 billion in funding. They're probably going to raise another 5 at some point. Anthropic, we just talked about, is just raised up to 4 from Amazon. Another 2 is probably coming from Google. Meta, obviously. They're all building the models. And then on the right are the companies that are sort of building the software, the enterprise software on top of these foundation models. So again, like I mentioned Writer earlier, I know they're here in the hall. You can go get a Writer. They actually build their own language models too. But the idea is these are things built for, but they're going to now compete with OpenAI because ChatGPT Enterprise is a thing. So if you're a big enough company, you can actually get ChatGPT Enterprise and train it for your organization. Again, nobody knows what to do. So you have CIOs that are talking to the big companies, you have CMOs that are just talking to the application companies, and everybody's trying to figure out the play here. So a few examples of how we think about this. So Marketing AI Institute is a team of 7, Kathy, is that right? Yeah, about 7. 4 of us are involved in content, I would say, in some capacity, roughly. So on our podcasting side, which Kathy kind of handles all the production and promotion of, so Kathy's in the back of the room here, but Mike and I do the prep and the actual recording of it. And so Mike uses it for scripting, developing questions to ask me, because it's basically like a Q&A. Mike asks me questions about big topics, and I pontificate on what's going on. So we use it to then transcribe it, summarize those transcripts. We use AI in blogging, so we do it in our content strategy. We assess our portfolio of content, what do we republish? We generate images. These are all functions that our team of 7 uses AI for. We also then use it to cut up shorts for YouTube. We use it to repurpose those things. We use it to build the promo images. All things that we do for, I don't know, probably like less than $100 a month of technology. So this saves tons of time. The thing I will say strategically as B2B marketers you need to think about is because we can all create this stuff, we've almost democratized creativity in a way. What I think happens is authentic human content, the stuff you can't easily synthesize, takes on greater value. So me standing up here talking to you unscripted in the flesh, and you can come ask me questions afterwards, is more valuable than a synthetic version of me doing the exact same talk online. And so I think like editorials, narratives, in-person events, podcasts, like those kinds of things are going to be more cherished by your audiences moving forward because they know it was done by a human. The next thing is to understand that these large language models are actually just the foundation for what comes next. The thing I like to say is this is the dumbest form of AI we will ever have in human history. So like if you're not impressed with it today, just try it again in a month. And so you have to keep in mind that it's moving at this exponential rate. This is a tweet from Greg Brockman, co-founder and CEO, or co-founder and president of OpenAI. This was about a month before they released GPT-4, so February of this year. Most amazing fact about AI is that even though it's starting to feel impressive, a year from now we'll look back fondly on AI exists today as quaint and antiquated. He could retweet that or re-exit every February moving forward. If you haven't tried Pi, how many people in the room have tried Inflection Pi? Just a couple. This is your homework assignment. This is the one that's like kind of that wow magic moment. So Inflection, I mentioned, has $1.3 billion in funding. They were founded by Reid Hoffman, the creator of LinkedIn, and a guy named Mustafa Soliman, who co-founded DeepMind, which is now the main research lab at Google. They're trying to build a personal assistant, something that gets to know you. It'll ask you how you're doing. It'll ask you questions. So they want it to be like a business coach, a life coach, a therapist. Like they're building this thing that really gets to know you. The ideal acquisition, honestly, would be like if Apple bought them and they just turned Siri into this. Like this is what Siri is probably supposed to be. So they're a major player. They have massive amount of NVIDIA chips. They're building a much, much more powerful model right now. So it's just pi.ai. The next thing that Chris alluded to is these models are becoming multimodal, meaning they can see, they can hear, they can speak, they can learn from images, they can analyze charts. This is going to be really important to B2B marketers. You're going to be able to have conversations with the AI, not just in a text form, but eventually in video form, in image form now. So if you're a ChatGPT Plus user, you likely have access to this now. I just got mine Tuesday night. So you can now go in and put images in and have it analyze those images. The thing that's coming next, we just don't know how quickly it's going to happen, how good it'll be, is AI agents. Things that can take action on your behalf. So rather than just having a conversation with it and saying, build me an itinerary for a 2-day trip to Boston, it will book the flights for you. It'll reserve the hotel for you. It would make reservations at the restaurant for you. I have a friend building this technology, HyperWrite. They say it's alpha 0.001 or whatever. Like, it's very, very early, but every research lab is working on this exact technology.